What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Let's Play here on the Bedrock edition. Now today we're going to be taking on one of our larger farms that I've had planned for a while now, and this one's probably going to be spread over the next couple of episodes because it is going to be extremely time consuming. So the farm that we're going for today is an actual iron farm because I actually want to get some more beacons up and on the go. And in order to do that, we need a lot more iron because at the moment I'm sort of transferring my beacon that I've got from one place to the other. Whenever I need to clear out an area, I then have to tear it down and rebuild it somewhere else. So today we are actually going to go for a completely different design than what I usually do. What I would usually do is a quad iron golem farm, where you'd have like one pod there, one pod there, one pod there, and then another pod there. And then all of them would be linked up with tubes that come down to the centre for a main killing chamber in the middle. This one I'm actually going to go for a grid format, and instead of having 4 iron golem farms I'm going to be having 9. So I'm hoping that it works out. I'm going to need 2 characters on at the same time in order to keep the entire farm active though, which is one unfortunate thing, but if you were to build it and you wanted it active with just one player AFK, I'm going to go for a 20x20 design on the iron farms. If you wanted to keep it active with one player, you could do I think it's a 14x14 design. So if you had one there, say this is a single chunk of a 16x16, if you had a 14x14 iron farm there, you could then have 4 chunk gap in between. So then the gap in between that iron farm and that one would be over 65 blocks away if it's a 14x14 design. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, another one over here 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another one in this corner, which is there. And then another one over here. Is that right? No. One would be there. Now, if you had the 14x14 design standing in the middle in this center chunk where you've got the first farm, all of the other 8 farms around you will be active. But because I'm going for the 20x20 design, they're not going to be fitting in single chunks. So in order to actually load the entire farm on every single one of the 9, I am actually going to have a character probably around about in the center point there, and then another character in the center point about there. And then that will keep all of them active. So yeah, that's one unfortunate thing about this farm, but having 9 of them running at the same time is probably the best bet for a large quantity of iron, and it's a completely different farm design than what I've done before. And just to make things extra hard myself, what I've chosen to do is actually try to build in a biome that I've never tried before, and that is actually building this in a jungle biome. So I've been over here, I've sort of done a nether tunnel to the first jungle that I could find in my world, which is around about 3,500 blocks away from our original base area. And I've managed to find a parrot as well. He was just wandering around as I was clearing this main area here. I've not actually done any exploring in the area whatsoever yet. I've just sort of built my nether portal, cleared out an area, and this is where our first farm's going to be going. So this is where our main central point is, and then we're going to have the branching off farms in each direction. And then what we are going to do, instead of like transporting all the island golems to a central killing chamber, which is what I would usually do, I'm going to be killing the iron golems off at each farm drop-off point and then just transporting the items to the central collection. So yeah, that is the actual hopes and dreams of this project. It's going to be a rather large one and a rather long and time-consuming one, so I probably won't get an episode out for at least a week or 2 whilst I'm working on this. And yeah, so hopefully it all goes well. What I'm going to be doing first of all is I'm actually just going to lay out the actual farms. I'm just going to do a grid of the 3x3 farms, so then I know where each one is going. So then I know what sort of room I'm working with and what sort of dimensions, and just to make sure that there's nothing in each direction that's going to block me from being able to actually build them. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking on with that, and once I've laid out the actual sort of foundations as to where they're all going, I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, so I've been at it for a fair few hours and I've managed to lay out the entire sort of grid for it. And there is a couple of interesting things that I've come across. We've managed to get a couple more of the coloured parrots, so I'm going to see if I can manage to collect them all while I'm in the area. I'll keep on having random things sort of spawn in here and there. There's quite a lot of ocelots running around as well that I've spotted, but I've not got any raw fish on me to tame any of them at the moment, and I can't be asked to go fishing. So let me just show you the stuff that I have actually found, which is pretty good. Now, I have no idea which direction they sort of go in. So you've got one farm which is over here, and you've got another farm over here. I've managed to find an jungle temple. Yeah, that's what it's called. I was thinking monument there for a second, and that's because I've been working on monuments quite a lot lately. But yeah, I've managed to find a jungle temple here, which I've not yet explored. Over this way, where the corner farm's going to be going, it is actually a village over here. So what I've gone and done, have I gone and done that? I did, yeah. I blocked off all of the villagers, so I've got a couple of villagers down there in that hole. I've got a bunch in this room over here. There's a few bouncing up and down in the well, and there's still a couple more running around, but I've blocked off as many as I could. Now, this saves us the great hassle of having to find zombie villagers and convert them, or attempting to teleport, oh, if I can actually take off, or trying to teleport villagers over from like my breeder from my main base, which would have been a major hassle taking them all the way through the nether to bring them here. But yeah, I've got them all laid out now, so as you can see, they're all spread out exactly 65 blocks away from each other, which is the distance that you need for this size farm in between, in order for the villagers not to count the doors on the other farms as part of their village. So I thought that what we could do is have a quick look in this jungle temple. Yep, jungle temple. I was thinking monument again to see if there's anything decent inside. Have I got any torches on me to help me do this? Yes, I have. Okay. Yeah, these leather things, I know that there's a way of pulling them to make a block over here come down, but as to what order you're meant to do them in, I have... Okay, something moved then. Is it? No, that's not it. I've only ever found like 2 or 3 of these in any of my worlds, so I'm not too sure. Oh, well, that pulled that one down. Okay, that one done nothing. That made another sound. Nope, that's pulled something back up. How about if we go 1, 2. Does that do anything? Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to break into that rather than waste any more time trying to figure out the levers on it. Let me get a pickaxe on my hotbar. There we go. So we've got a chest in here. Any goodies? Got a bit of gold, some bones, which is going to come in handy because I'm having to farm jungle trees at the moment. Yeah, what I'm planning on doing is actually building the entire iron farm out of jungle wood. Oh. Well, it looks like someone forgot to put some arrows in the dispenser. Happy days. How about this one? Yeah, in that one as well. Well, I'm assuming that's a bit of a glitch. What else have we got? Got a bit more iron, rotten flesh, and some more bones. Not a fantastic find, but 3 iron, 3 gold, so can't really complain. And I do believe there's only a couple of chests in here, and you know what? I'm just going to steal all of these pistons and stuff as well. I want to keep the actual outside of the ocean monument intact. I don't want to go tearing it all down, so I will be leaving it rather than harvesting it all, because what I want to do is actually start developing this area after I've built the iron farms and have a sort of like mini base area out here, which should be pretty decent considering that I've never tried to build in a jungle before. And I'm fairly sure that I'm going to come across numerous issues trying to build an iron farm out here. Because they're all going to have to be built at different levels as well, I'm not sure if that's going to affect it. And I don't know if I have to be at a certain Y level to make sure that they're all active. But yeah, A couple of decent finds. That village is definitely the most better find that you could have found. Oh my god, words get muddled up. It's probably one of the best finds I could have found, is what I was trying to say, whilst trying to build an iron golem farm over here, because that's just made my job around about 1,000 times easier. So what I'm going to do now, rather than me do progress updates, I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me actually building just the actual main farm structures and just get the actual farms themselves up. And then I think after the time lapse, I'm not too sure how much time we're going to have, because I think we're definitely going to have to spread this over a couple of episodes in order to do all of the villagers as well, because the villagers I know is going to be tricky. We're going to need at least minimum 10 villagers in every iron farm. There's going to be 9 iron farms, which is 90 odd villagers, and villager breeders tend to stop breeding after around about 30 or 40 villagers in the same area. So my plan is to then having to teleport them into the nether, store them in the nether, and then teleport them from the nether to each individual iron farm. Which, yeah, it's a bit of a chore, but it's definitely not going to be something I'm going to be able to fit into one episode, unfortunately. So it's a rather large project, and so yeah, I'm going to crack on with this time lapse and get all of these farms built up, and hopefully I've got enough jungle wood. I've been farming it quite a lot, as you can see here, and I think we've still got some of the leaves decaying around us where I've had trees just planted, and I've been manually waiting for them to grow. I've been over here for around about a good 15 hours now, and you could tell from the vines how much they've been growing since I've loaded the area. And I'm fairly sure once I finish building the farms, most of these vines are going to be touching the floor and it's just going to look like an absolute mess. Also, I didn't realise in the Bedrock edition there is a lot more oak wood in the jungle, or the jungle biomes, than there tends to be jungle wood, to be honest with you. There's not so many of the 2x2 large jungle trees, and as you can see, I'm actually finding quite a lot of just normal oak wood, which was a little bit surprising. Like, every other tree is just a large formed oak wood tree. There doesn't seem to be any standard oak wood trees, just larger sort of big ones like this one here. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with these iron farms, and I guess I'll see you after I finish doing that. Alright then guys, so finally managed to get all 9 of them built up. I know that the time-lapse only showed me cracking on with 3 of them, but I thought having just 3 of them in the time-lapse was more than enough, considering that it's the exact same sort of farm design, just done 9 times. Watching 3 of them was, I think, more than enough for a time-lapse, rather than doing the exact same thing 9 times over. But hopefully you enjoyed the time-lapse. It took probably the better part of about 2.5 to 3 hours to actually just build them all up. Having ice on hand in order to do all the to do all the water streams was pretty handy. I've not actually put in any of the doors yet, and that is purely because I don't want to mess up any of the village locations whilst I'm transferring the villagers back and forth. So my plan is to actually put in all the doors after I've got the villagers in place. I have actually got the doors already made. I've been harvesting loads of jungle wood at my main base area, and yeah, so I've got tons of the doors already made. I've still got a load of ice, that's where I've been using it for the waterways. Tore through the majority of my jungle wood to actually build the farms, and I had to tear down quite a few different little areas, sort of level out a couple of the areas as well. How many rockets have I got on me? I've only got 5. I'm going to need some more rockets, just in order to have a quick fly around to show you the progress. Back that down, grab some rockets on us, and away. Okay, so yeah, we've got all 9 farms built. Now they are at different elevations, so I'm hoping that doesn't affect the rates or where I need to sort of have the AFK points. But yeah, I did want to build them sort of moderately within the terrain itself, so I didn't want them being too much of an eyesore. So I've sort of built them at different elevations. I'm hoping that the trees next to them don't create spawning spots for the iron golems, because obviously we don't want iron golems spawning outside of the farms. How's my elytra doing? Okay. My elytra got very close to breaking earlier, so I actually had to go repair that and repair our pickaxe, and I definitely need to go repair our actual axe, because I've been tearing through that using the axe for building them the actual farms, because they're all made of wood. And because I've got fire spreads off, having lightning storms around here isn't too much of a worry, because if one bit does catch on fire, the entire farm's not going to burn down. So yeah, that's all of the 9 farms now up and done. The other things that I need to do is actually create the drop chutes for the iron golems, where they drop down. We're going to be killing them off with... What's that? I heard a creeper then. What we're going to be having is the iron golem drop down. I think it's at least... I think it is... How many blocks? It's 33 or 35 blocks that I'm going to be having them drop down in order for them to leave the perimeter of the actual village that's formed by the farms. So then they will leave the area quicker, they'll get killed down below. The items will then be dispensed into a ice waterway and then be brought up to a main collection system, which will be here at the central farm. Now all of that I'm going to actually build off camera, because it's just going to be a little bit tedious sort of digging up all of the ice tunnel ways, which are going to be coming from each side. So I'll probably do them 3 back there connected together, them 3 back there connected together, and then have either side just converge into one central point over here. And hopefully that should all come out working alright. Fingers crossed, but once again it's just one of them very repetitive things, just as though building these 9 farms is 9 of the exact same farm, and after about 3 or 4 of them you do get a little bit bored, and I ended up watching some programs rather than having my recording software on, which is how comes the time-lapse only included me building 3 of them. So I had to use my other PC for watching my programs, so I carried on building them. But yeah, all 9 of them are done, and that should hopefully be most of the tedious work done, barring the waterways and kill chambers. So I am going to have the auto dispensers on each one dispensing the iron into the waterways. But yeah, what I'm going to do all of that off camera now, and then I'll bring you back once I've got all the kill chambers and waterways in, and hopefully we'll have some time to try to get an achievement in this episode, because I think I forgot to do one in the last one, and I don't think I actually remembered until I was doing the editing, and I would really like to get another achievement in this one. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the kill chambers and the waterways. Hopefully that all goes alright, and if I run into any problems, I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, so finally managed to get all of the waterways in. I've got a item collector system. I've got all the hoppers in place for a sorter, because I want to be filtering out all of the flowers from the iron for when I'm doing lengthy AFK sessions. So I've got the hoppers in place, but I've not actually done the redstone. And I am severely running low on iron now. I think I've barely got half a stack or so left in one of my redstone chests. Where's my redstone chest? They're in here. I think I've only got like half a stack or so of iron left completely, because we've got our drop chambers which drop down there into lava blades. Now, is there any way of me showing you what I've done here? I do believe if we drop down to like 25, I think I took it down to. We go all the way down to here. Hopefully we don't dig directly into lava, because you're never meant to be digging straight down in Minecraft, or digging straight up in Minecraft. Okay, and we've just dug through our redstone. Awesome. So if we grab that, let's grab you. So just above here, that should be fine. We've got our lava blade up there, which is too high, so the iron golems drop down. They'll then get killed. It's far enough away from the farm that they're outside of the perimeter, allowing more iron golems to spawn. So the iron golems are taken out of the farm area within around about 4 to 5 seconds. And they drop down here. The items are then collected into these hoppers, into this automatic dispenser, which will then get the signal to send round to be automatically dispensed. Or it's a dropper actually, not a dispenser. But same difference, and then this will then run into, if I can find it, into here. And then we've got a very long tunnel of different waterways all converging into the central point here. So you've got one coming from that direction, one coming from the left, one coming from the right, and they're all along packed ice waterways, which will then run directly into the central point, shooting up with the soul sand elevator, and then that all gets fed directly into the hoppers right at the top. So all happy days there. That didn't take as long as I expected, to be honest with you. Can we try to get out of here somehow? What blocks have we got on us? We've got an absolute ton of garbage. Let's use some cobblestone. Patch you up. Now we've got to try to get back up to here. Do that. Do that. That. And then we'll hop back on up. Yeah, so it took around about the better part of about 2, maybe 3 hours to crack out the entirety of the waterways. I did get a little bit stuck on a couple of them where they sort of ran into caves, which was a little bit annoying, but it wasn't too hard to deal with. Why have I just got so many random blocks now? So you got some diorite, and let's use some dirt to finish up getting up here, and happy days. Okay, so it's raining, so we don't actually have to use our rockets, but all of the drop shoots are done on all of the 9 farms, so that is all happy days there. And we've got all of the automatic dispensers or dropper systems at the bottom of each one. Got all the waterways done, so all the farms themselves are pretty much done and dusted. So hopefully, if we've got enough time, I think we're clocking on around about 20 to 25 minutes now. I know that we had a little bit of a desert somewhere, which is over here. It's well weird, this biome. It's sort of like a desert on the surrounding area of a mesa. But in the desert we should be able to find hopefully a bunny rabbit, which is please cover your eyes if you don't like animal cruelty, because I'm trying to kill this rabbit. This one's got riptide, hasn't it? Oh my god, this rabbit's so quick. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we want some rabbit meat, because I think one of the achievements is just to cook and then eat some rabbit, I do believe. Hopefully get back down here safely without dying. There we go. Have we got a furnace anywhere? I don't believe we have. Let's grab you. Put you down. And just use some fences. Now, is my game in peaceful or something? No, still in hard. I know that I switched it to peaceful earlier when I was building a couple of the iron golem farms, which I very rarely do, but it got to the point where I was getting hassled so much by skeletons shooting me off the farms while building them. Usually it's creepers that bother me, but yeah. So an achievement should be to cook and eat some rabbit meat. And I'm trying to make myself hungry by running and jumping around, but it just does not seem to be wanting to do that. Come on, get hungry. What makes you hungry? There we go. So if we then eat this, hopefully that will be our achievement, and then hopefully we can finish this episode off. Nope. Also, the update for the Minecraft has come out while I was building the Iron Golem farms. So we've actually got phantoms in the game. Now, I don't think I've slept for the last day or so, but I'm not too sure if they're going to come out. But at the moment, they're severely bugged. They don't actually do anything. They don't swoop down to try and hit you or kill you. They sort of just fly above you and do nothing at the moment. Oh, I've got my thing turned off, my notification. So if you did hear the beep, that was actually the achievement sound. Hopefully, if we go onto our achievements and see if that one's been done. Scroll down. Hopefully we don't get blown up while doing this. Just make sure that that's the pork chop. Is it there anywhere? Cook and eat rabbit meat. Oh, do you have to make it into a stew? Okay, well it looks like that we're going to miss out on an achievement for today's episode then, so I don't know which else to go for. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. Now the project is going to continue into the next one where we're going to be working on sorting out the villagers. So if you're interested in that, then please make sure you watch the next episode, and hopefully you've enjoyed this one, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.